Guys, and welcome back to Basketball Report. And still continuing with our prediction or preview for the upcoming season, and we are at the Spurs, which I would say is a team which is quite interesting in how shit they are at the moment. But you can elaborate on that.
Yeah, so obviously, off season for the Spurs. The rebuild basically started when they decided to move on from Aldridge. Bought out Aldridge, and we always knew that DeRozan was never gonna resign, and they were never looking to resign.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they let him go, and I think that was a good decision that they made. And now we're finally in a full rebuild. The team's pretty young, but the main issue for me is the lack of talent.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying there isn't solid players on the roster. I just feel like there's a big lack of talent on this roster, going forward. So, obviously, for me, there's obviously one guy that stands out, and that's DeJounte Murray. Fantastic defender. I really like DeJounte Murray. He just needs to work a little bit more on his shooting, but I think at this stage he's going to be the main guy. Other than that, there's not a lot on this roster. Derek White's not too great in my personal opinion. Jakob Putel's just average. They got Zach Collins. He's been struggling with injuries, so we'll have to see how he does. New environment. He was all right when he was at the Trailblazers, but like I said, injuries. Are we going to see a new Zach Collins on the Spurs? Don't know. It's a very subpar team at this
really
stage.
at the moment in the West, definitely bottom of the West. We have the Rockets, and we do have some teams that are even worse. But I don't know. Murray is good.
I mean, solid.
Solid. They have Looney Walker also, but also not. It's not great. They have talent, but there's not. Like a Luka or somebody that just stands out immediately. This team is quite subpar, quite. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do.
Average.
I would say I think they're just going to go through the games this season and hopefully get a good pick for the next season. Don't see them. They don't have a lot of trade value. Yes, they have young guys, but I think they're going to need that another guy.
I think like I said, I think the balance of the team is good. I don't think they have any player that's over 30 on the roster.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they did good to get rid of the old guys. So, it's just like, this isn't like a young team. We're not talking about the team here with a team average like 21, 22. Like, for example, looking at teams like OKC, Rockets, Magic. It's not that young. But then it's not an old roster at all. So that's always good for the team. And the nice thing about this team is the fact that it's the Spurs. We all know what the Spurs can do. We all know this is a front office that is very competent in what they're doing. And we all know that this is a team that is extremely well coached by Greg Popovich. And the thing about the Spurs is they always just find a way to surprise you. Even last season, getting into the playing games, that's something I didn't expect from the Spurs. And obviously 2020, the record, I think it was like a 21 season record, consistently making the playoffs. They missed out just. And even before that, they even made the playoffs again and losing to 7 against the Nuggets. So the Spurs find a way to always make it to the playoffs and always be good. So I don't want to count them out this season because I know if the coaching is there and, the front office is there to build a team, I'm fully committed in seeing what this team does. And at this stage, yes, it may look bleak, but at the end of the day, they've had pretty average rosters and just turned it into something completely special.
Overperformed.
Yes, I mean, they had David Robinson, who was MVP, and the Spurs were good and they were competing for titles. And then just out of nowhere, one season, they got Timmy D. They got Tim Duncan. And they build upon it, and just when you thought, okay, look, Tim Duncan's getting there in age, they turned Kawhi into a superstar. So what's to say they're not going to do that with another player? I'm not saying they're going to turn DeJounte Murray into the next Russell Westbrook or Stephen Curry. All I'm saying is give this team a couple of picks, a couple of players, and they could build you a very solid roster going forward. But I do think at this stage, the roster doesn't have that talent. It doesn't have that flair, and I think it's actually a very boring team, to be honest.
Yeah. So prediction.
Final prediction for the San Antonio Spurs. It's a difficult one. I'm gonna say best case scenario 10. Literally best case scenario. But more realistically, I'm gonna say between 11 and 13.
Yeah. No, I'm also going in that direction. I would say best case scenario, which I think is highly unlikely to happen, is going into the playing games. But I think definitely a solid 13. I think anything better than that is going to be good for them. Oh,
Well, I mean, it would depend if they want to tank. Then
yeah, then it is another story. But yeah, they do have Popovich still there, which is one of all-time great coaches. So they can still maybe go into playing games, but the thing is they are in a rebuild, so do they really want to try and go that high?
yeah, if they're gonna have a good season, I think they're just gonna be like, okay, well,
Yeah,
being good, so let's be
just
shit.
yeah.
Just for the sake of a big but obviously Greg Popovich, I don't think he's gonna be coaching too longer.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to coach a rebuild
Well, Tim
team.
Duncan is starting to
he's
take
taking over. Yeah, so he's gonna add on the torch to Timmy D, and I don't think Tim Duncan minds having a bad team for a little while. But I can promise you, Greg Popovich, he's not looking to rebuild another team. He's done that way back then. So at this stage, I just feel like it would be the front office decision to be, okay, are we going to go out, get a star player, or are we going to go and rebuild through the draft? And I think that would very depend on where the team would finish by the end of the season.
Yeah. So as of that, this is our last video. We finished all 30 teams. I just want to say thanks for you guys for watching, every one of them. All the guys that gave us some shit on the comments and all that stuff. We love it. Let it come. And let us chat in the comments and all that stuff. But yeah, I just want to say thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. And let us know what you think about the San Antonio Spurs. What are they going to do this season? So full, tank or go through the playing games. Yeah, let us know. And as always, you know what to say.
Hit that jump. Guys.
Oh,